Hey everyone, John Green here, and today we're tackling IELTS Writing Task 2. Specifically, we're talking about balance, that magical ingredient that can make or break your essay. Imagine you're a judge in a debate. Two sides present their arguments. One side shouts loudly, completely ignoring the other's points. The other side acknowledges both perspectives, weighs the evidence, and presents a well-rounded conclusion. Which side wins? You got it, the balanced one. The same goes for your IELTS essay. Examiners don't want to see you blindly supporting one side. They want to see you analyze the issue, consider different viewpoints, and form a nuanced opinion. This doesn't mean you can't have a clear stance. It means you need to acknowledge the opposing view and explain why your position is stronger. Think of it like a delicious sandwich. You need both sides of bread to hold all the good stuff in the middle. Okay, so we know balance is key, but what happens when you go all in on one side? Let's just say it's not pretty. Imagine you're arguing that technology is bad for society. You spend your entire essay ranting about internet addiction and social media's negative impacts. You completely ignore the incredible advancements in medicine, communication, and education that technology has brought us. What happens? You guessed it, your argument falls flat. You come across as biased, lacking critical thinking skills, and unable to see the bigger picture. Not exactly the impression you want to make on the IELTS examiner. Remember, the IELTS writing task assesses your ability to analyze complex issues. Ignoring one side of the argument shows a lack of depth and understanding. It's like trying to bake a cake with only flour. You'll end up with a crumbly, inedible mess. Let's get real for a second. Sometimes it's hard to tell if our own writing is balanced. So let's look at some examples of unbalanced essays and see what went wrong. Should governments invest more in public transportation? Governments absolutely must invest more in public transportation. Private cars are destroying the environment, causing traffic jams, and making our cities unlivable. Anyone who disagrees is simply wrong. This excerpt completely ignores the potential downsides of increased public transportation spending, such as higher taxes or the logistical challenges of expanding infrastructure. It also attacks anyone with a different opinion, making the writer seem unreasonable. Remember, acknowledging the other side doesn't mean you're agreeing with it. It simply shows you've considered different perspectives and strengthens your own argument. Section 4. Striking the right balance, practical tips for success. Ready to become a balancing act pro? Here are some practical tips to ensure you address both sides of the argument effectively. First, start by acknowledging that there are valid points on both sides of the issue. Use phrases like, "Some people argue that," or "Opponents of this view believe." Next, provide evidence and examples to support both the argument and the counterargument. This shows you've done your research and considered different perspectives. Then, after presenting the counterargument, explain why you believe it is weaker than your own. Use evidence, logic, and reasoning to support your stance. Finally, use linking words and phrases to connect your ideas and create a cohesive argument. Words like "however," on the other hand, and "while it is true," that can help you transition smoothly between opposing viewpoints. Remember, balance is all about presenting a well-rounded and nuanced argument. By following these tips, you'll be well on your way to impressing the IELTS examiner with your critical thinking skills. Section 5. The payoff. Reaping the rewards of a balanced essay. So, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've learned why balance is crucial in IELTS Writing Task 2, explored the pitfalls of one-sided arguments, and discovered practical tips for achieving that perfect equilibrium. But what's the payoff? Why go through all this effort to balance your essay? Well, here's the thing. A balanced essay demonstrates you can analyze complex issues and see both sides of the coin. You're not blindly supporting one side, you're considering all perspectives. Acknowledging the counterargument actually strengthens your own position. Examiners love balanced essays. It shows you've understood the task and can present a well-reasoned argument. So there you have it. Mastering the art of balance in your IELTS essay is like unlocking a cheat code for success. It takes practice, but the rewards are well worth the effort. Now go forth and balance those essays like a pro.